What's up, guys? It's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Build It video. Today we're going to be talking about the what the hell's going on here? The game being chance or the game being strategy. Okay, and the game is not 100% based on chance. It's not luck. Okay, it's just not. You can tell yourself that all you want, but it's not. So basically, yesterday I did a walkthrough for this person. They had feed in their starting list. Now, if you watch that walkthrough, you have a better idea of what's going on. But I woke up this morning to one of my group members asking me, basically, why was it wrong that they left the feed to sit if it was at a low value and that's something that they're trying to get in the main list. So again, you guys, it really helps to read the comm guide. And it really helps to pay very close attention to what I say in the videos. So I'm going to make a video explaining what that means. And then we're going to talk about how the contest of mayors kind of works in regards to chance and strategy. So first, basically what it means is this. The first 25 assignments, and this is in the comm document under rules of rotation. Yeah, rules of rotation. The first 25 assignments in is your safe zone. And this is for low-level people, okay? You guys are trying to, manipulate your list to work in your favor for as long as you can, and then you're trying to manipulate it again to work in your favor so that you can safely do the streak. So the idea for low-level comm is this. The first 25 tasks in, you do your best possible tasks, taking into consideration anything that's going to cause you any kind of risk. Okay, whether that be, you have to look ahead, way ahead. You have to say, okay, if I work these 3 doorways, and doorways are just place values on your list. So the top one here for metal would be doorway number 1, doorway number 2, okay? If I work these doorways, the ones that are available to me, how long do you think that you can work those doorways before it gets covered up with an assignment that you cannot do, that you have to leave to sit? Now, then you have to decide, when is it safe enough to cancel a high upgrade when it's, causing a block on your list? Because then you have to decide, okay, wait a minute here. If I cancel this high upgrade now, and it doesn't come back in time for me to start the streaks, which one is going to cause me more risk? Possibly losing my streaks, or the 3 or 4 assignments that I'm going to maybe get after a cancellation for this assignment. So there has to be a safe zone where you can safely cancel, where you can, safely do epic projects if you need to. And when I say epic projects, I mean at the value of 2,000 or less, or 2,000 or higher is okay. Anything below 2,000, you need to really think about, okay? Long factory productions that can cause you downtime, that can cause you to fail a streak. Again, you need to really think about those pre-streaks, okay? So anything when it comes to canceling upgrades, those 4 things are the main things that you need to think about before the streaks. So you have a total of 60 assignments, 15 tickets, okay? You want to start streaks right around 20 tasks remaining. 24 tasks remaining if you don't want to use tickets, if you want to try to save them. There's 24 assignments in total in your streaks, okay? Then your bonus points. Your streaks count for over almost half of your score. So it's really important that you are able to get through those, okay? Now, if that's the case, then that means that you have a total of 36 assignments, roughly, that you can do before the streaks, okay? But the ballpark number is to start streaks around 20 tasks remaining. The lowest you can go is 9 tasks. This allows you, enough with the tickets. If you add up your tickets, that allows you enough, including tickets, to finish the streak. So you would be using your tickets to finish the streaks. So 24 to 9 assignments is the ballpark on where you want to start streaks. By that time, you have to have all your upgrades in your main list, and then anything that you can secure after that is only a benefit. Okay? So like feed, glass, things like that. Now, in those 30 some odd assignments, how far can you safely go before it's too far? So let's say you have a total of 36 assignments that you can do, or 40 if you do the 20 tasks remaining. That's your zone you're working with right now, okay? How many tasks would you say it would take you to get an upgrade back if you cancel it? Sometimes it's right away, but on average, probably 10 to 15, right? Close to. That's the whole point in you canceling it, isn't so it comes back right away, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be canceling it. It's so that you can get better opportunity. So the safe zone is 25 assignments in. That's why I placed it right there, okay? So within the first 25 assignments of the game, that is when you need to decide if you are going to leave something like this long feed production to sit or if you're going to do it, right? Now, in his case, what do we look at when it comes to factory productions? We look at time, tasks remaining. How much time does he have left? Well, at this point, he had 4 days, 11 hours, so he had plenty of time. He could have left that to sit safely. He could have done it and safely been able to finish, right? So time was not of an issue. Tasks remaining was not of an issue because he was within the first 25 assignments. What else do we need to look at? We need to look at doorways. Do we think that we can go this, for the duration of the contest, because this will be after the streaks? Do we think we can go that long without that doorway? Okay, so let's see how many we have. We've got 1 with the caps, 2 with the minerals, 3 with the flour, 4 with the plastic, 5 with the metal. So we've got 5 doorways. 6 if you count the war booster down here at the bottom. We've got 1, 2 upgrades. So out of those 6 doorways, we have to... We've got 1, 2... Yeah, we've got 2. So 5 out of those 6 doorways are going to be for upgrades, right? Then we have the storage assignment that's now in. That takes 6. He has just exactly enough for nothing else to stay in his list. So if he gets sugar, if he gets chems, if he gets glass, if he gets anything else that would be a problem, he doesn't have room for it, right? That means that he really could use that feed doorway, okay? Now, feed is not a high algorithm assignment. He could do it and it could stay away for the duration of the contest. We don't know. It is a risk. But what else do we need to look at? Because the doorways in itself is not usually... 6 doorways is actually pretty good. Normally that would be okay. But what else do we have to look at? What's in his list? What type of assignments has he been getting up to this point? Well, he's been getting a lot of factory assignments. So that would conclude that he's probably going to get a lot more factory assignments. Right? So if he does this feed assignment now, he doesn't have to take downtime to do it later to open up that on his list, causing him to be closer to the streaks when he does that. Causing him to possibly not have enough time to finish the streak. So if he doesn't do feed now, he basically shouldn't do it at all. Right? Now, he doesn't do feed, he does plastic, and then he works all these other doorways, he lowers his score, he takes second place. He ends up basically at the end of this week, what ended up happening was he had no room to fit anything in his list, and he was working his last 2 doorways of chems and sugar, trying to fit the last couple upgrades that never came in. He ended up failing 2 streaks, It was just a big mess, okay? Now, the other problem with what happened here was the placement, okay? Now, this is something that you don't notice really until you're a high-level comp player, but if you go back through his screenshots and you look at the patterns of which he was getting his assignments, the top half of his list was doing exactly what I tell you guys your stuff does. So let's say that doorway number 1 with the metal, you do doorway A, B, and C that follows thereafter. So those are just assignments that come after that doorway gets done, okay? And then that doorway leads you back to metal at some point. Let's just say that, okay? Now, instead of doing metal, which got you nowhere before, now you switch doorways. And you do the plastic doorway. Just bear with me here. And now it gives you doorway A, B, C, whatever it's going to give you, okay? And usually these are repeat tasks of doorway of assignments you had before. You're seeing a lot of repeat assignments based on whatever the week is trying to give you. It's not until you shift doorways that you start to notice a pattern, which is exactly why when you guys are in a loop, switching doorways breaks the loop. Have you noticed that? You ever been stuck in a loop with your assignments and you just keep getting the same task? You do that assignment, you get the same exact task. So the only way to break that loop is to do a different assignment. In his case, the top half of his list was giving him what it wanted, basically factory assignments. He wasn't really getting any upgrades to roll in until the last part of the week. Now, the last part of the week, you know, he did his high-risk war booster, which was at the bottom of the list, and it gave him a 6K upgrade. Well, that is a high-risk task. It's not surprising that it would do that. But let's pretend for a minute that he worked to the bottom of the list without pulling up a high-risk assignment. The feed. So going back to the start at 46 tasks remaining, that feed doorway could have led to much better things. Probably would have. Can I say that for certain? No, but I'm pretty damn sure. Now, looking at the game, we're going to talk about the game of chance, okay? So, essentially, all you guys are doing is you're taking a game that works basically kind of like a random generator. It's randomly generating these assignments, okay? But there isn't a complete 100% just pure luck of the draw to this. There's ways that you can increase odds based on patterns that you notice with all weeks, based on how those are going to affect you, and based on completely eliminating something from the equation. So, essentially, for example, what can we come to conclude with the starting streaks assignment? Well, we know one thing's not going to happen. We know we're not going to be getting VU in our main list, are we? And that is what? That is a premium that doesn't cost cash, that has a good algorithm attached to it. So we can already conclude that it's pretty good that we need to look elsewhere for those points. That is not good. That is something we can conclude just by the placement of that assignment. Okay? What can we conclude by the Epic project being in our list? We can conclude that it can't cause us any problems in the streaks. It can't come back, repeatedly. It can't take up a high-valued assignment. So every one of these assignments, you can conclude something from it. You can say, okay, by this being here, it's causing me problems. By it not being here, it's not causing me problems, right? Everything that you're doing is taking this list and you're putting it into subcategories, and you're saying, okay, good, bad. This has a value possibility of this. This has a value possibility of that. And you're saying, okay, how can I increase my odds of the good assignments to come in and lower my odds on the bad assignments? Does it mean 100% of the time you can, predict what you're going to get? No, that's not what that means. But you're going based on chance, the odds, what you know, all of it. It all matters. So let me paint a picture for you, okay? Let's say, hypothetically, in this total hypothetical, let's say that metal gives you a 6K upgrade 9 out of 10 times that you do it. Let's just say that. And that's not true, you guys. I want to make that very clear, okay? It's just an example. So I'm training somebody, and they really want to do this metal assignment. And I say, you know what? Don't do it. Because 9 out of 10 times that you do that, you get a 6K upgrade. Okay? And that would further cause you problems. Right? So, this person decides that they're not going to listen to me. Okay? And they don't get the upgrade. They fall into that 1% of, 10% of the time that doesn't happen, right? So now, let's say they got a 6K VU instead of a 6K upgrade. Now they're all high and mighty. They're like, psh, I was right. Missy was wrong. I got a good assignment. We're all good. She don't know. Anything could happen. Blah, blah, blah. Right? All right. This is where it gets good. Next week, they come to me. They're like, so, I did that metal assignment again because it worked out real well for me last time, right? And because it worked out really well for them last time, what do you think they're going to do the next time? They're going to gamble again, aren't they? And they're going to hope that they land, or actually, they're not even going to believe the 10%. They're just going to be like, psh, I'm good. I got this. I'm going to do it. And they're going to do the metal assignment, right? Except for this time, it didn't work out for them. Not at all. They fell out of the 9 out of 10, the 90% chance that it wasn't going to work out for them. And it screwed them up, big time. Most of the time, they don't even tell me yet, okay? The next week comes. They do the same mistake again. They fall into the 90% again. They do it a few more times, just for shits and giggles, because apparently they don't learn ever. And they just keep making this mistake until they realize, all right, this isn't good. Maybe I really did just get really damn lucky that one time. And maybe that 90% of the time that this sequence of events happens, it does turn out bad. So maybe Missy was right. So now they realize, all right, I'm just going to do it the way it's supposed to be done with this assignment. Okay? I'm not kidding you guys. This is what I deal with on the daily with people. All right? And then they say, all right, I believe you. I'm going to follow your instructions based on the metal assignment. Okay? So now we're training, and another metal situation comes up. Totally different assignment, totally different situation. Okay? Do you think they're going to believe me? No. They're going to do it again, and again, and again, until they're like, all right, you were right again. That was a bad idea. I don't think that was a good idea. And then, after they do this so many times, they realize that they should probably listen to me. A new person comes in. And what would you know it? They do the same damn thing they did. With the metal. But I want to try. Next thing you know, you've got all these people who learned the hard way, and all these people who want to learn the hard way. And then there's me in the middle, pulling my hair out, going, what is wrong with you people? Why don't you just listen to me when I tell you how it's going to end up? Right? Yeah, that's what happens, okay? I can't tell you how many times this is. I lost count on how many times this has happened, you guys. So, do you know how high and mighty people think they are? when you say, don't do this. There is a 90% chance that this is not going to work well for you. Do you know how high and mighty they are when they get that 10%? They're like, oh, I got it. It worked for me. I did it. And then they run off and they do that shit again. It's like a slot machine, you guys. It really is. It's like gambling at the casino. I won. Maybe I'll win again. Oh, damn, there went $1,000. You put in 20, you won 1,000, then you spent all your damn money trying to win again. Don't work that way, okay? You got lucky. That's what happened. You got lucky. And now you're going to learn the hard way. So, all these situations where I tell you guys that it's a game of chance, it's a game of odds. Increase your odds for better things and don't take risks you don't have to take. Don't risk it. It's all about risk versus reward, okay? What you're saying is, if I do this assignment, these are my risks. These are my rewards. Is the risk worth taking? So let's pretend that you have 4 6K upgrades. You're at 30 tasks remaining. You're beyond the 25 assignments in where you can safely cancel. But you have a wild hair up your butt. And you're like, you know what? I can cancel one of these possibly. I might be able to get it back before the streaks. It might work out to my favor. I might get something better. It might. But the risk is outweighing the reward right now. But you're taking a gamble. You're doing exactly what I just described. Don't do that, okay? Because what's 90% likely to happen is that you take a hit on your score, okay? And you end up not able to get that assignment back in the main list. And you fail your streak. Or you get that assignment right back. And it did you no damn good. It's unlikely that you're going to cancel it, earn back enough points to cover the cancellation and boost up your score and get the assignment back just in time so that you can safely do streaks. That is the more unlikely version of what's going to happen. But you gamble on it anyway. When you make gambles like that throughout the whole contest, they cost you. All the time. Okay? Now, I've had people gamble with the monster. I tell them, don't leave that to sit that long at 2,500 points. You really need that place value. You need that doorway. Just spend the $40 damn, the $20 damn, the whatever. Get it done, because if you don't get it done now, you'll have to get it done later. And it will be too risky later. I'm trying to look ahead here for you. Lo and behold, it ends up screwing them up. Okay? Same thing with repeat sugar assignments. Tell them, don't take downtime for sugar. Not at this value. It's at no touch value. Same thing with chems. How many of you guys have done this to me? At the value that it's at, don't touch it. That's why it's marked no touchy. And you touchy. And what happens? It comes back. Usually worth just enough points to where it has to be done. So now you've created this problem again. How many people have done coins, repair, keys at values where they shouldn't have done them? Simply just because. And what ends up happening? 99% of the time, those assignments come right back, right? Well, lo and behold, they do. So you lowered your score for a risk you didn't have to take. And that's really what it comes down to, you guys. So when you guys watch these walkthroughs and you guys think, all right, last week this was wrong. This week this was wrong. The circumstances are different. There is no general, you do this assignment at this many tasks remaining no matter what. It don't work that way. You take all these assignments and you categorize them and you say, okay, these are all premiums, these are all non-premiums, these are all no touches, these are all mains, these are all rotatables. And then you take those subcategories and you arrange them in such a way where the best possible outcome with the highest value goes first. Okay? And you say, okay, this one's highest in value. It's got the best possibility for better things to happen. It's got the least amount of risk. Starting with this one first. Any tasks that come in after, you reevaluate and break down into subcategories the same way you do your main list. Once all the obvious choices are gone, things start to get a little bit more complex, and this is where people screw up, usually by the time they get to their rotatable assignments. Now, you have to look at everything. You have to look at, you always look at everything, but you have to look at value, you have to look at risk, you have to look at reward, you have to say, okay, how many tasks remaining? How many of you guys are choosing your assignments? You're not taking screenshots, you're not doing tasks remaining, you're not looking at time. You're not doing that. And that is why you're making mistakes. That is why things are kicking your butt. If you're clearing a feed assignment when you have 1 day left or 2 days left and you're a low-level player with, you haven't even started streaks yet, you just took a huge gamble. Huge, massive actually. What you're saying is that you are confident that you will not get the feed in the streaks, which I don't know how you could possibly say that. And that if it does come in the streaks, it could cause a 12-hour downtime. Close to. Yeah. And you have how many days left? 2? And what other tasks do you not have secured? Do you have class secured? Really? Not a good gamble to make, right? Now, could you go through the streaks and not get the feed? Yeah, it's possible. But you could. Is it worth the risk? Whatever you're gaining from doing that feed assignment before the streaks, was it worth risking that? And if the answer was no, it was just 2,200 points. So for a 2,200 point gamble right now, to get 2,200 points now, you're willing to risk failing multiple streaks and not finishing in time. Streaks, mind you, that have assignments in them and bonus points. Doesn't seem smart, does it? That's what I'm saying, you guys. You guys have to look at risk versus reward. So whenever you guys look at something and you're probably like, okay, well, last week this guy did this, but this was wrong. Go back and really pay attention to the circumstances. Go, wait a minute here. What was different? What set of circumstances were different? What were the surrounding assignments? What was the tasks remaining? What was the time remaining? Yada, 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 yada. Because you guys are just looking at, he chose this assignment versus, and then at this time and this was wrong and blah, blah, blah. You're not looking at all the categories. And until you start looking at all the categories, you will never be able to play 100% correct using this technique. You just won't. You can depend on value and opportunity to some degree to get you some wins. You can, because competition, quite honestly, is crap. And a lot of you guys could probably half-ass it and win rather easily until you come across somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. And then you're going to start to lose. And by then, you're going to have built up all these bad habits that you're going to have a very hard time breaking. Okay? It's better to just learn it the right way from the get-go so that you don't have to, retrain your brain to pick assignments properly. Same goes for high-level people. You guys, they learn one way, and then they have to retrain their brain. And it's like driving, okay? You pick up bad habits. You don't want to pick up bad habits. So just do it right the first time around. You don't have to worry about retraining yourself, because I promise you guys, at some point, you're going to come across people that that played decently, and you're not going to win anymore. And you're going to be like, damn. And then you're going to be over there binging my videos going, all right, how do we do this? Hopefully that answers a lot of your guys' questions that I've had. But pay attention to the rules of rotation. 25 tasks in is your safe zone. That is where you need to weigh out your risks versus rewards before you do cancellations. Rotate in high factory productions, epic projects, yada, 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 yada.